Happy holidays. Thank you for spending time with us here on CNTV. I'm Brad Clonch.
And I'm Quin Tran. We begin with a story of gratitude. A Chickasaw citizen is thankful for a tribal program. She's able now to get water to her home.
Everyone needs water to survive.
Alexa Russell lives in Hawaii, and for the past decade, she's had trouble getting water to her property. Through the Chickasaw Nation's Home Improvement Grant, she was able to purchase a catchment tank system.
And the people that I have dealt with from Oklahoma in the Chickasaw Nation have been nothing but kind, considerate, polite, professional, and they have had nothing but compassion. And they pulled through for us.
She encourages others to explore the Home Improvement Grant. The program assists low-income citizens outside the Chickasaw Nation or at large with home repairs.
This is a huge way to learn about nutrition, digestion, and good health. The Chickasaw Nation's Nutrition Services hosted the Body Adventure exhibit at the tribe's community center in Ada. Students explored the large exhibit, which is comprised of 10 organs, including the brain, stomach, heart, lungs, and muscles. The learning experience involved an animated character named Anoli, who narrates the information throughout the exhibit.
Anoli, our little animated character, who's based off a real life person, Anoli Billy, whom we dearly love. So she is the animated character that kind of brings the exhibit to life and narrates everything through each of the stops. And the other component that we wanted to add was Chickasaw culture. We wanted to teach kids about the three sisters. And so she talks about for eating fruits and vegetables, but her favorites are the three sisters, beans, corn, and squash. And then we explain how you plant them, how they're planted together and kind of help each other grow and stay strong through the different weather and elements. We talk about stickball when we're in the muscles and talk about, that it's a warrior sport that Native Americans or First Americans play, and kind of just give a little bit of background of what stickball meant to the Chickasaws.
Chickasaw history and language were also incorporated in the exhibit. Expect to see this exhibit again soon.
The Chickasaw Nation hosts the Anoli Creative Writing Contest annually with adult and youth divisions. We connect with a young writer, Alex Fournier. He's a high school senior in California who won first place for his essay titled Ishish.
So I chose to talk about my Chickasaw ancestors, the past lives that they might have lived, and how that relates to being a Chickasaw today and the kind of transition from ancient Chickasaw to the modern Chickasaw in our tribal government and stuff. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I thought the title was appropriate because Ishish, blood, it just reminds you of your heritage and like the lineage that goes back thousands and thousands of years of being a Chickasaw.
So the word Ishish means blood.
Yes, it means blood.
Your Chickasaw heritage comes from your mother's side of your family. How is that connection to your elders influential in your life?
My great-great-grandfather was actually 100% Chickasaw. And my mom's grandmother talked to her about this, and she knew this. And it's just been something that's been increasingly more and more important in my life, because my mom almost felt like that part of our history had been like silenced, or we didn't know much about it, and it had been silenced. And just my mom talking to her grandmother about it and learning more and more about our Chickasaw past and our heritage, and visiting Oklahoma and seeing the Native American headquarters. It's just been something that's really important to us. I think it's just amazingly interesting. So the most recent time that I went back to Oklahoma was my freshman year. When I drove in, we drove in, it was really green. I think it had just rained. It was really green. It was really pretty. And just seeing just around Ada, just the natural beauty of the rivers and the creeks. And there's that really foresty area just outside Ada. And I thought that was really, really neat. It's cool because we don't get so many small towns around here. So just to see like the smaller towns and stuff, I thought that was super cool as well. It's just a breath of fresh air. It's just like a different culture that in America than like what I'm used to, And I even got to participate in CPI, or Chickasaw Palichi Ikbi, and I thought that was super neat. The leadership group for Chickasaw youth, they do amazing stuff. Like they go help out in the community and they go to Washington, D.C. I thought that was really neat. Right now in the world, actually, due to the internet and just modernization, so many cultures are just being slowly lost. And I think it's just so important to preserve your culture. And one way of doing that as a Chickasaw is just getting involved, just in general, getting involved with the community, getting involved maybe even with CPI, and the Anoli Writing Contest as well. I think that's something, just thinking about your Chickasaw past and writing about it, putting it into words is something that's can be super impactful for yourself. And, you know, because I did this, I was just thinking about being Chickasaw. I considered the question, and I think that's something very healthy that you should do as a tribe member and as a Chickasaw. Research your past, figure out in your family who's Chickasaw. Um, if you have anyone alive that you can ask questions about what it's like to be Chickasaw, I think that's very important. Talking to them, preserving their stories, and telling your children about them, even writing it down. I think that's just something super impactful as a Chickasaw because there isn't enough recorded history. And so just talking to your elders and speaking to them about what it's like to be a Chickasaw is super important, in my opinion.
From writing now to reading, this is one of the newest releases from the Chickasaw Press. Listening to Our Elders, Elders of the Chickasaw Nation, Volume 3, is a treasure.
The book compiles the latest series of elders' portraits painted by Chickasaw artist Mike Larson. These portraits have been showcased at the Chickasaw Cultural Center. While Mike Larson sketched the portraits, his wife, Martha, taped interviews of the elders. From those interviews, Michelle Cook wrote some of the biographies printed alongside the portraits in the book.
There's so much our elders have to share with us, and so many of these elders have passed on since their paintings. And so these are little snippets of their life and their wisdom to us as people, as Chickasaws, as children. And it's just a memoriam to them. And there's so much to say for what they left for us through these biographies. You know, I think about like my own grandparents as I was listening to these elders and the stories I heard, it just made me realize how important everybody's life is. And we all have life lessons to pass on, and we need to not be afraid to pass those on because it may seem minuscule to you, but it's not. It's not. It's important to your kids, your grandkids, and your relatives. And we have to worship that and just treasure it. And it was just an honor. I got to listen to every one of them, even if I didn't write about them. I got to listen to them. And I just learned so much from these elders and what they've been through in their lives. And it just made me, I was just so blessed by it.
This book captures the beauty of Chickasaw elders. Find all 3 volumes of the series, Listening to Our Elders, at the Chickasaw Press. You still have time to visit the Southeastern Art Show and Market online. The virtual market remains open to the public to explore, admire art, and purchase items through the end of the month. Visit csam.net. Enjoy the works of more than 100 Southeastern and Woodlands First American artists. Besides the market, the art show includes a competition in various categories.
A Chickasaw elder shows us that age doesn't matter. She's still producing award-winning art.
You just draw on the masonite board. You can't erase.
At age 74, Mary Ruth Barnes is a versatile Chickasaw artist.
It's just a beautiful way of drawing, and it's an ancient way.
She's doing silver point drawing, an art form mastered by Leonardo Da Vinci.
You turn the coin on its edge and you draw with it. It's just amazing how it turns out. It just goes on by just scratching. It's like an engraving or etching type process.
The Chickasaw elder draws beautiful art using this ancient technique, but can also create award-winning pieces using modern technology.
You do layers in watercolor, you do layers in acrylic, and you build your process. So I don't feel like it's any different than when I'm just using the paintbrush.
Her creative vision and skills developed as a longtime teacher in English, journalism, and computer courses. At the 2021 Southeastern Art Show and Market, her graphic arts piece received first place.
I thought this would be a great picture to bring in the pictures that I had taken of the Arbuckles and superimpose that inside the picture of Sassy was her name. I enjoy this because I like taking pictures of horses and putting them in the negative and then painting them. So some of my horses, you'll see pictures that look like they're kind of in reverse, and they are. I take a picture, put it in the negative in Photoshop, and then I look at it and paint it.
The piece is titled Spirit of the Blue River. It's inspired by memories of her grandfather, Harry McSwain.
He was such a wonderful storyteller, and he would just paint these pictures in my mind as a little girl. So I just had to do this. He always wanted me to go fishing on the Blue River with him, and we'd get up early in the morning and he would comment if there was a mist. You know how the mist raises up out of the water? If we see a blue horse in the mist, then it's going to be a day of good fishing because we're going to catch a lot of fish. So I always remembered this blue horse, the spirit of the blue horse.
Whether it's art or her first published novel, her pieces are influenced by Chickasaw heritage and her deep faith in family values.
Not only is this horse walking this land, but this horse realizes the land is where he came from and the land is where he'll go back to. And so I think that in itself is its own story, to have that land within the horse. It's the healing nature of land that people don't realize, but really your earth is your healing nature that you walk on and you live on, and the air is offered to you by God. And so you have to be grateful and thankful for that.
We celebrate her and all Chickasaw elders for the gifts that they share with us throughout the year.
As we close out this year, we wish you a happy and peaceful holiday season. Take time to enjoy the beauty that this time brings. At the Chickasaw Cultural Center, the celebration of lights is underway through the end of December. Have a very Merry Christmas.